All right, Coach. 0-3, but you had to be, impressed with the competitiveness. Taking Syracuse to 5 sets and taking Siena there in 5 sets, and then competing with Sacred Heart, 29 wins last year. And obviously being tired with back-to-back matches.
Yeah, definitely pleased with how competitive we were. We really competed hard, worked hard. Even kind of, we're looking at things from this year, but also look back to last year. So the same point last year, went to West Virginia and got swept all 3 matches against, I would say, similar competition. So we're happy with that. We're making some progress. Winning is a skill. It takes time to learn how to win and how to win tough matches and close matches. Also be up 2-0. It's hard to, it's nice to be up 2-0 and then give each other a chance. I think against Siena we got a little, I wouldn't say a little lazy, but a little complacent with where we're at. We're thinking, all right, we got this one in the bag. And then they came back and started figuring some things out. We got a little down, and then you get into a game 5, anybody can win. Syracuse, it was a little more of us. We played okay. They played pretty poorly the first 2 games. But you still put yourself in the position to win. And then kind of after watching film last day or 2, we just missed some simple things we can clean up pretty easily to give ourselves a chance to win. So,
how encouraging was the locker room after the matches, the bus ride home? I mean, did the ladies feel like they had accomplished something just by competing against the Big East team and things like that, or was it more like a crap, we were there and we didn't finish it?
I would say it was kind of a mix of those. They realized we missed out on 2 opportunities to win matches, but I don't think I think we were disappointed in that we had a chance to win and didn't. But we're not sad about losing. At this point, I think we know we're still on our way up. We're still climbing and still figuring things out. The biggest thing is we still had a bunch of new starters out there. I think we played 13 or 14 of our players this weekend. So I mean, a lot of people got shots, and we had Jenna Kavanaugh go down, and Kelsey Waggy jumped in, and then even Shannon Lawson got some time. So a bunch of people got experience, which is also nice for us to have people with a little bit of game experience under their belts going forward in other matches. They won't be as nervous.
Talk about Waggy. I mean, she averaged almost a block and a half per set.
That's really her skill right now. Came in as a good blocker from her junior college days. Something she brings right away. She has a good feel for it, knows where to be. And sometimes having she has a good feel for blocking, meaning the ball finds her hands, and the ball finds her hands and finds the floor. So it's almost a natural gift. It's a good thing to have. A junior college, now a junior here comes in and will give you good minutes off the bench, and she's got good energy too. So offensive side is coming along with her. I think a lot of it's about just the speed of what we run things and connection with our setters. But blocking is definitely something she brings right away.
Obviously, Missy adjusted pretty well to the right side.
That was pleased. We were pleased to see how well she took to that. But there's even more she can do. The challenge is, after each match, especially the first 2, you look at her numbers and you go, "Oh, she's playing well." But we looked at her and said, "All right, Miss, you put these numbers up and we still didn't win. So you have to do that much or more." And I think she's capable of that. She's every challenge we've given her, she's accepted and passed. So she can do even more. But yeah, we were happy with how she played. I think 2 double-doubles our first 2 matches. Playing the whole time is a big difference too. I mean, she's taking a ton of swings, but she's also passing every rotation. She's digging. She's playing good defense, having to block more often than she was on the left. So, but she's handling it.
Going back to Waggy a little bit, just with blocks in general, 2.6 versus 1.9 for your opponents. Is that maybe the best thing that was working for you guys last weekend, or was there another area that maybe you thought was better even than the blocking edge?
I think from a stat point of view, I would say the blocking was probably something we did pretty well. Some of those numbers I would say were padded a little bit against Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart runs a slower offense. It's pretty deliberate. They do a good job of it. Obviously, they're 2-1. They won a bunch of matches last year, but they're a little easier to read. But I would say we didn't get beat as much as we did last year blocking, so our blockers are a little smarter this year. We're not guessing as much. We're making better reads. So we don't even blocking is something that it is something you keep and you want to score points. We'd rather just slow the ball down. We do something we want to. They're called control blocks, where we're going to hit our hands and then give ourselves an easy chance to run offense. Those are actually better than blocking a ball back on the other side of the court and having them play it. So we're doing a better job of that, just touching balls off the block, giving ourselves a chance to play defense and then score points.
Maybe a stat that didn't go so well was serving errors. There were 45 of them in the 3 matches. Just talk about, your approach to serving, things you can do to correct that.
Yeah, we made a change and made a choice in the spring to be a much more aggressive serving team. So everybody's got a much more aggressive serve than they had coming into last fall. That being said, you're going to make more errors. Coach Burrows and I are aware of that. We want to cut the errors down, that's obvious. But it takes time to really learn how to be more aggressive in a match. So we can be aggressive in practice and make some errors in practice, but that match kind of environment, it's hard pressure to simulate in a practice setting. So it's going to take us more time to get used to serving aggressive every night if it's 0-0 or it's 22 all. I think our players are up for that challenge. We'll see if we can, I think next week we'll see less errors. It's definitely a focus for us, not only this week in practice, I would say rest of the year. Serving is the one area you control just by yourself. So we can do a better job of that, we'll have a better chance to win.
Looking forward to this week now. Kent State on Tuesday. Played pretty competitively with them here last year, and then just talk about the tournament in Indiana this weekend.
Kent, I think it'll be a really good match. Kent went 2-2 this last weekend, and they played some longer matches. Coach Connolly has a bunch of new starters, so I think he's trying to figure out a lineup for them and see where everybody fits. The challenge is going to be, for us, is they're a very good ball control team. They dig a ton of balls. They test you consistently. The rallies will be longer. Our focus mentally and our physical effort, just sustaining rallies, will be tested. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be very competitive. This weekend coming up, go to Indiana, play Indiana. We play Buffalo and play Southeast Missouri. Indiana's a Big Ten team. They went to the Sweet 16 last year, but their best player graduated, a girl named Ashley Benson. She was our first team All-American. She was very good. They actually lost 2 matches last weekend, one to Cleveland State in 5. So I think they're on the ropes a little bit, but the challenge is that, they're going to be a little wounded, and I think this week their coach is going to tune them back up, and they're going to be fired up to play at home. So that'll be tough for us. Buffalo, solid MAC team. They do a good job. They have a bunch of new starters as well. So it's going to be different. We played them last year, the first weekend as well. I think it's going to be a completely different team than what we saw last year. I think we'll see at least 4 new starters for them. Southeast Missouri, I think we're going to be competitive with them again. So we'll see. I think Buffalo and Southeast Missouri, I think, will be very good chances for us to get a win. I think Indiana, there's no expectations. So go out there and play, see what we can do, and have fun.